Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good weekend, and welcome to Star Wars Outlaws.
Hungry?
So, finally Zerek Besh is here.
Each of you represents some of the most powerful criminal organizations in the galaxy. Pikes, Crimson Dawn, Hutts. It's a golden age for the underworld. The Empire's little Death Star gets blown to pieces and the law is distracted by a rebellion that won't quit. It's an opportunity to make millions. But, to my surprise, one of you sends a spy into my own house when I thought we all could share this feast.
Enough, Spiro. I didn't come all this way to listen to lies, while your Zerek Besh rats skim off our spice slates. Shuto.
You know, my brother was heir to the family fortune. He's gone now. You remind me of him. He always came first. Even at dinner. If he'd finished his meal, he'd just take my plate. All I could do was watch him chew. Go hungry.
What is the point of this?
If Zerek Besh wants partners, forget it. Been done, doesn't work.
Partners? Weren't you listening? I'm starving. It's time to eat.
So, this guy appears to want to wipe out the Pike, Hutt and Crimson Dawn crime syndicates. Apparently that makes him the bad guy. Meanwhile, despite the evidence of what it is you're about to see, Vess here is apparently the good guy.
I know, buddy. Just give me a minute. This'll work, right? Where is it? All right. Let's get you some food.
The little fella's name is Nix, and he's a Merkwal, and he's really cool. But despite what Kay just said to Nix, the one thing that she is absolutely not going to do, based on the first several hours of playthrough, is find him something to eat. This is just one of the many ways that we're going to come to learn that Kay Vess is a complete arsehole.
Ugh, we need some real food.
And this is a bit of a problem for me, because while I do like Star Wars Outlaws...
Police scanner's quiet tonight. Hope it stays that way. Yeah, I'm hungry too.
I just can't get over the fact
I've practiced enough. Time for the real thing.
that the character you're playing is a selfish, irresponsible, incompetent dick. I just hope that there's some kind of character arc here where she will eventually at some point grow the fuck up. Don't worry, you'll see what I mean. Because if not, the alternative is that we're supposed to think she's smart, witty, charismatic, and she really, really isn't. I remain hopeful. I realise this isn't exactly a fantastically promising start to a game commentary, but I just wanted to lay my cards on the table good and early, and remind you that despite this, I do actually like this game.
You're leaving a lot of money on the table.
Don't know the crew, don't like it.
If you change your mind, let me know.
So, Bram, that for me?
No. But this is...
Ah, My data spike.
Yeah, and it's broken. Some scrap rat was selling it in the square. Says he found it in Sixth Kin turf.
And now you're gonna say messing with the sixkin is a bad idea.
It's gonna get you killed.
That's another way of putting it.
You've got no crew, Kay. And you keep going it alone with high-risk scores that just go sideways.
You want it done right? You do it yourself.
I get it. You've hit some bad luck.
Bad luck. I'm out of marks, I'm broke, and I live in an attic.
Why don't you stick around the Broken Hoof tonight? Fix yourself some dinner. Let me set you up with something small, an easy hustle.
Or you could just give me that job on your pad there.
Nice try.
Then I got plans.
Take some credits. For the data spike.
I'm good.
She really isn't.
Then I'll put it towards your rent.
I said I'm good, Bram.
Everybody knows somebody like Kay Vess. The kind of person that everything they touch turns to shit. She's no good at anything, but she's got delusions of competence.
You like this one?
She is a walking, talking, textbook example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. You know, when people are just so bad that they're too bad to know how bad they are. Everything that they do goes wrong, and it's always somebody else's fault, or something else's fault.
Smells a little heavy on the bunta spice. Want me to taste that for you?
Forget it, Kay. I don't care what Bram says. Go freeload somewhere else.
She's dumb enough to think that a painfully transparent line like that was going to be good enough to scam her and nick some free food. But in her mind, she's a smooth, fast-talking hustler. She's that special kind of stupid. And we all know and despair of people just like Kay Vess, who can say one thing, and then the very next thing that comes out of their mouth completely contradicts what it was that they just said, and yet still be 100% completely oblivious to the fact that they've just proven themselves wrong with the next thing that came out of their mouths. She quite literally just said to Bram, if you want the big scores, you've got to do it yourself. And then the next thing that came out of her mouth was her complaining about how she was broke, had no marks, and lived in an attic.
We're not getting anywhere with a busted data spike. Come on, Nix. Let's see Preben. Then we break into Club Tarsus and steal the forged identity cards from their safe. With any luck, they'll get us on a shuttle to the core worlds.
Kay is basically her own worst enemy.
I need to give you something.
What is it?
It's the bill for the 3 Meluran your little scud stole from me last week.
Hey, you don't know that was Nix?
I only ever seen one of him anywhere. You pay up soon, or I'm turning him in.
So just in case it wasn't obvious, Kay is a thief by profession. She's just not a very good or smart one. Her Merqual partner in crime, Nix, the cute little fella, is instantly identifiable and can be readily traced back to her. As we just saw, this guy that she just stole from instantly knew it was her because Nix was seen stealing the stuff. And since he's the only Merqual on the planet, apparently it's not that difficult to work out who was responsible for the theft.
Hey, Nafis, kinda busy.
Just hear me out. I got an opening on my duct scrubber team. Sometimes the droid gets stuck, and I could sure use a good crawler. It's tough work, but it's honest.
Sorry, I got plans.
Yeah, you always got plans, Kay.
Yet we all know somebody like Kay, constantly chasing after get-rich-quick schemes that never work out.
Huh. All the merchants are out for the Kanto Cup.
And when her schemes inevitably go arse up, all she ends up doing is making herself more enemies. The datapad that she read in her attic apartment above the cantina from a guy named Sneem. One of her schemes went wrong. She ended up being caught by the police. He paid for the police to drop the charges. She doesn't have the money to pay him back, and now he's out to get her as well. She's the kind of person who uses this superficial charm to convince people to help her out.
There's Preben. A lot of shakedowns tonight. Police will be loaded with credits.
But because she is what she is, she can't help herself from abusing that trust and then very quickly starts running out of people who are prepared to help her. And she's just incapable of even considering that all of it might just be her own fault.
Preben.
No patake. Chichi no gabetisa tugamna. Una 16 pint ut jituana uba japagoyama sif no lia club Tarsus.
Come on. I just need my data spike fixed.
Anji chusa tajis galif. Sosa uba ropadatis. Son pitch crispo.
Because the forged identicards in that vault are the only way I get off this planet. I'm done with Kanto.
Abakanto sati uba.
Good. Only options I got here are sixth kin or prison.
Aku an uba tinka zakutu utwata.
At least someone like me has a shot at a decent score. Maybe even see the core worlds. Preben, you help me one last time, and we never talk again.
Eniki, kudupa numa jeche kopa. Pasabata jope uba vipta chakrita.
You see what I mean? The terms of a deal with Preben was that he supplies her with the location of the vault that she wants to break into,
Get some credits.
on the condition that they never be seen together in public, so it can't be traced back to him. But the second she needs something, the first thing she does is go and speak to him in public.
See what I have in stock.
And we're supposed to, at least I think we're supposed to sympathise with Kay because she's the game's protagonist. So this person only sells Bacta vials, which I can't afford anyway. Okay.
That's all right.
Well, that's enough about the character of Kay Vess for now. Don't worry, you're going to see plenty more examples of the sort of thing that I'm talking about. So while I'm busy stealing stuff in order to scrape up the other 95 credits that I need to pay Preben to fix my data spike, I'm pretty sure Kay probably expected him to do it for free because, well, that's who she is. Let's talk about the game itself, because despite my exasperation with the character of Kay Vess, I do actually like Star Wars Outlaws. Let's talk about performance first. As I'm sure you've already noticed, it does look very, very nice. And it's pretty smooth as well. I'm getting about 70 frames per second here. But bear in mind a couple of things. This is on an RTX 4080 graphics card. So, given the hardware that I'm running it on, you'd expect it to look good and perform well. And it does. 70 frames per second, looking like this, and running at 4K resolution.
Hey, sneak over and get that.
Which probably means that if you're not running on something like an RTX 4080 or displaying it at 4K resolution, and let's face it, most people aren't, it's still going to look pretty nice with more than acceptable frame rates. Depending on your hardware configuration, of course. However, and this is another thing, when I started the game, it gave me exactly two options. Start a new game with default settings, or tinker around with accessibility presets. At no point did it allow me, prior to starting the game up, to actually mess around with the graphical presets. So I didn't know that it wasn't running with any hardware ray tracing. And when I did turn the hardware ray tracing on, oh boy, frame rates tanked. I got into an open world area, turned on the ray tracing, and I was getting less than 20 frames per second. And that's kind of disappointing, because this is a new game, obviously. And Nvidia have released new graphics drivers specifically supporting Star Wars Outlaws. And when I turn all the ray tracing on, I can't get better than 20 frames per second. Meanwhile, in Cyberpunk 2077, which I hasten to remind you came out Christmas 4 years ago, I can turn RTX overdrive mode on in Cyberpunk, which is not a mode that you're supposed to use for actually playing the game. It's really just supposed to be there for getting very, very pretty screenshots. But I can actually, on this hardware, play Cyberpunk 2077 in overdrive mode, and it looks instantly better than this. And I still get 60 to 70 frames per second.
Something catch your eye?
So you probably shouldn't be trying to play Star Wars Outlaws at 4K resolution with hardware ray tracing turned on. Not unless you like watching slideshows. The good news, of course, is that you don't need to. I mean, none of this is with hardware ray tracing turned on, and it is running at 4K resolution, and it is getting 60 frames per second. And I couldn't actually notice any visual improvement when I did turn all the ray tracing on. Quite the opposite, all it did was tank my frame rate. So the game is entirely playable without the alleged visual improvements offered by ray tracing. So, I mean, that's good news, I suppose. I mean, it isn't. It just means that the ray tracing is horribly badly optimized. But you can absolutely 100% live without it, because aside from tanking your frame rate, you wouldn't notice the difference anyway. Not unless you were specifically looking for it. Anyway, on with the plot. It didn't take me long to scrape together the 100 credits that I needed to pay pre-ban to fix my data spike, mostly through dumpster diving and scavenging with a little bit of petty theft.
Okay, Preben, I have the credits.
Wata. Chubakava pia sajebe chutpasabata.
Alright, let's test it out.
Okay.
Okay, now we get that identicard from Club Tarsus. They're our ticket out of here next, and then, before you know it, rich.
Okay, we're not testing it. We're just... okay, we're going straight to the job. So we need to find a way into Club Tarsus. Which I believe I am persona non grata.
Junk they just throw away. I found two perfectly good converters in the alley behind the club.
You know that's sixth kin territory.
Probably some kind of clue to where I can find some stuff that I can sell. Well, here's the club.
Busy night?
You're not getting in, Kay. Club's already got enough rats.
Really funny.
I'm going to have to find another way in. Alright.
Come on, Nix. We'll find our own way in.
Well, I'm not getting through that way. Oh, here's another issue. Bear in mind that we're still playing what is effectively the tutorial level of the game. And it's customary in a tutorial, because that's what they're for the game to teach you what keys you need to press to get a certain thing done. Like, what key do I press to crouch?
Huh, looks like we can fit through there.
Where's the pop-up? There isn't one. I pressed control, because generally it's either control or C. Turns out I chose wrong. Control is dodge roll.
Okay, no going back now.
But at no point did a pop-up appear to tell me exactly what key it was that I needed to press. I mean, imagine if I'd been on a ledge and I pressed control and executed the dodge roll and then fell to my death. Because that could have happened. I don't think tutorial means the same thing that Ubisoft seem to think it does. Although at least here in the data spike minigame where we're hacking terminals, there was a pop-up that said press F1 for help. So Ubisoft are clearly aware that we are still in the tutorial section of the game. It's just that they seem to be awfully choosy about exactly which game mechanics are worthy of a explanatory pop-up. I mean, none of this is game-breaking, and I really do need to keep emphasising that despite all of these minor irritations, I do like this game. It's just there are things not there that should be, and it wasn't difficult to implement them. Oh, and this is the part where I realised that Ubisoft were drawing heavy influence from likes of Horizon Forbidden West when it came to their climbing sections. They're just not as good. Not bad. They're not bad, but they're not as good.
Do your thing, Nix, just like I taught you.
Oh, I actually screwed this up here, but
Nix, put on a show.
Check it out. Yeah, I have to actually be looking at the button that I want Nix to interact with in order for him to get over and press it, but because I wasn't looking at anything in particular, Nix just rolled over and played dead, which was adorable. Credit where credit's due. They have done really well with Nix. In fact, I wish he was the protagonist. He's the one friend that Kay has that she doesn't end up screwing over. Although, you'll note she still hasn't fed him.
Here we are.
Okay, we're in the club.
Elvis is at the casino.
Steal the forged identity card in the office, so I need to find a way to get into the office. Let's have a good look around. I mean, the environments in this game are very, very nice. It all does look very Star Wars. Although, not so much the club music.
At Casual, we come here all the time.
I mean, I kind of like this club music. I could comfortably listen to this.
We're close. The identicard is in the boss's office.
But I'm not really getting any figuring down on the modal nodes vibe from it. You know, when you think Star Wars Cantina music or Jabba's Palace music, This isn't it. I like it though. I mean, there are some very talented people working at Ubisoft, and the sound design department are no exception. Well, where's this office? This looks like it probably leads down to the dance floor. Oh, there's something over here. Requires club key card. So how am I getting a key card?
Boss is complaining that cryopeds are getting into her office.
Yeah, they're getting in through the vents. I was going to clear them out, but I lost my key card.
I'll help you find it. After another round.
I knew I liked working with you.
Alright, so there's two possible ways into the office there. One of the technicians has lost his key card. We'll keep an eye open for that. And if that doesn't work, there are apparently some vents I could crawl through.
What can I get you? A way into your boss's office? I owe Wen some money. Want to make sure she gets it. Not gonna happen. Varel's on duty tonight, and no one's getting past him. Ugh, he's a real sleemo, huh? Yeah, he only cares about two things. Easy money and fast speeders. Just bought himself a brand new T-85. Let me guess. Won't shut up about it? Loves it more than his mother. Not gonna get you a drink? Nah, think I got what I needed. Thanks.
So, who's this Varel guy who loves his T-85 land speeder? Well, there's something over there.
Bring the ship down in the desert and march.
Let's go and check it out. Yeah, just some junk I can vendor. So, three ways of getting in. Find a lost key card, crawl through the vents, or try to bluff our way past the guard on door duty. First I need to find him. Turns out that Varel is the Trandoshan bouncer lounging up against the wall over here.
Hey, so, I'm Kay, and you're gonna let me through.
You're not on the list.
Oh, my friend Preben put me on the list.
Preben should have paid more.
So here I've got the option of bluffing him or bribing my way past, and I'm completely broke, so I guess bluff it is.
Hey, you know anybody who owns a T-85?
Yeah, that's my ride.
Nice speeder. Some scrub rats are outside trying to jack it.
What? Get out of my way. No one scraps my Jobin. I just got it modded.
He's a little short for a Trandoshan, isn't he?
That worked.
Trandoshans are typically bounty hunters who hunt Wookiees and take their pelts. Can you see that midget taking on a Wookiee? No, me neither. Oh, there's a vent over there. I guess, yeah, that would have been the other way in. Uh-oh. Alright, no, yeah, that must have been the other way in, because it only opens from the inside. Okay. Stealth. Fortunately, I had figured out, on my own by the way, because the game didn't think it was important enough to tell me how to crouch, but I had figured out that pressing the C key is how you actually crouch. Not the first key I tried, Control, which is dodge roll. And there's a lot of stealth in this game, and it's alright. It's not bad.
Okay, let's pick that lock, grab the identicard, and disappear.
Star Wars Outlaws is definitely a game that wears its influences proudly on its sleeve. It basically rips off Horizon Forbidden Dawn and Forbidden West for the climbing puzzles. It just doesn't really do quite as good a job of it. I mean, the climbing puzzles in this game are unnecessarily clunky. You'll see what I mean later. And a whole bunch of other games for the stealth sections. But it does it all reasonably well. I mean, nothing to really complain about. This data spike minigame, however, not amazingly intuitive. But on the other hand, the game is actually offering me help with it, so it would be rude of me to ignore it. It turns out this data spike business is actually kind of like a rhythm minigame. What you have to do is match the timing of the rhythm, and if you like, you can have it give you a visual prompt, or if you just want to be done with the data spike minigame entirely, you can just turn it off and have her automatically succeed. So, you know, options. Options are nice.
Look at that. Here they are.
Now remember, Kay is a professional thief.
Oh, come on, Preben. Your plans didn't have a pressure switch.
It's Kay Vess!
Theric! This is bad.
And this professional thief didn't bother checking for traps. I mean, that's thievery 101. And rather than cop to her own incompetence, she tries to blame Preben, the guy who sold her the plans. Are you detecting a pattern emerging here? I know I am.
Okay, we gotta get out of here.
Wait until you see what her next genius plan is. Just need to figure a way out first.
It wasn't supposed to go down this way. What have I done?
Up here, I guess. Why do I have to press space again to actually climb up onto the ledge that I jumped onto? You see what I mean about the climbing sections? Being Horizon Zero Dawn, just not as good. Now, Kay automatically crouched there, which I guess is the game's way of saying stealth time.
Nix, attack.
Go on then, Nix, get stuck in. And because we are still in the tutorial section, the game's going to show us how to do a stun shot with a heavy blaster pistol, which you do by tapping F. Now, it's on a long cooldown, you can only do it once, but here I'm forced to ask myself the question, why? She had her back turned to me, I could have just walked up to her and taken her out. And the way she falls, with her head and shoulders sticking out around the corner, alerts the other two, actually three. So, you see what I mean? What was the point of that? If you're going to set up a tutorial section to show me how to get away with, to show me the value of using my extremely long cooldown stun shot to negotiate a stealth section, then set it up in a way that works. Because the only thing this has taught me is that when I'm facing 4 enemies and I've got a stun shot that is on something like a 40-second cooldown, I may as well just go in all guns blazing. Because what's the point? Anyway, we're still technically inside the club. Have I been here before? Is that the same speeder? I mean, it's not necessarily the same speeder. Let's keep looking. Nope, nothing here. Oh, here we go.
What are we gonna do, Nix? I never counted on getting caught.
No, she didn't count on getting caught, because she's an idiot. She lacks the imagination to plan anything further than what's directly in front of her. And all of this, and many other reasons besides, are why she is an utter failure as a thief. But wait, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay, we got the identicard, the hook. We'll be safe there. We lay low for a while, we don't leave the attic. Yeah.
That's her plan. Go back to the Broken Hoof, the cantina where she stays. Remember, this gang are looking for her. They know who she is, and they know where she lives. And her plan for evading capture is to go back to the first place they're going to look.
Come on, back to the cantina. It's the only place we'll be safe.
It's the one place you won't be safe, you idiot. Even worse, she's leading the gang back to Bram, the Zabrak cantina owner, and the only friend she's got left. How pleased do you think he's going to be that she's leading the heat straight back to him? Oh, and that's not all, by the way. Do you remember at the beginning of the game I said everything Kay touches turns to shit? Do you remember Preben? The guy who sold her the location of the fake identicars that she just stole? The ones that she didn't bother checking for traps on? Professional thief though she is. The terms of that deal were that she never be seen talking to him in public, so it couldn't be traced back to him. And then the very next thing that she did was go to talk to him in public to get him to repair her data spike. Yeah, that guy. If, on your way back to the cantina, you would have run past his shop, he's getting the shit kicked out of him by the gang as well.
No, Bram. Good. That's a conversation I don't need.
Yeah, because why bother listening to people who are right, eh, Kay? She could have just taken the job that Bram had lined up for her, rather than going for the big score, one that she was woefully unprepared to handle. But anyway, good job, Kay, on leading the gang right back to the only friend you still have left in the galaxy.
Bram, I don't want to talk about it.
Good.
You thought you could just walk
And maybe you'll just shut up and listen for once.
Docks in Kanto. I told you, Kay. 6 kin will have your head.
Hey, Ren! We know you're here. Let's make this easy.
You say nothing. You do nothing.
I realise that's going to be entirely out of character for her, but hey, you never know. There's a first time for everything.
No. Come on! She's not here. Liar.
You think I want my bar blasted up like this? I'm done with that kid. In fact, I'll help you find her.
Hey, I think she's out here.
No. You'd slow us down. Let's go!
I have to admit, he's doing remarkably well for somebody that just took a bolt of plasma to the thigh. I guess he's got a really high pain threshold.
Bram,
It's nothing.
your leg.
It's nothing. This is a new crew. High risk. Whatever it takes, you finish this job. The score alone is enough to buy you a damn shuttle-off world. It's what you want, right? Time to go, Kay.
She finally did it. Kay's been with Bram since she was a kid, and even he's now had enough of her.
I'll come back.
No. You won't.
Take the hint, Kay. Of course, Kay does still have to somehow come up with a way of pulling off this new job, which is significantly riskier, and with a crew that she doesn't know.
6 skins all over the place. We can't let them see us, Nix.
And do that without having it all turn to shit. For reasons entirely of her own making. I'm not feeling too confident. But turn up in the next episode and we'll see just exactly how well that works out for her. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't get me wrong, I do like this game. I'm just completely exasperated with the protagonist. Hopefully there's going to be some kind of character arc. Hopefully at some point the realisation is going to dawn that the one common denominator in everything that's gone wrong for her in her life is her. And there's nobody else that she can blame. But I'm not holding my breath. Anyway, turn up in the next episode and we'll see. In the meantime, as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.